I'm gonna take everybody all the way back to one that I used to like to hear at the skate ring for listening to with JJ Fad, and we're here to rock.
Please understand that everything I say on social media, I would actually say aloud.
But we love to laugh about things like that. But then that's somebody else's life becoming my entertainment because we should practice this.
Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to a new episode of We Listen and We Judge.
Welcome back.
So, today we are talking about living alone versus cohabitating and having roommates or having a family. And I was thinking it would be a good time to talk about this because I personally had lived alone for about, let's see. So, once I graduated from college, I did live by myself. And then I got into a relationship around 2020. For 2 years, I lived with someone else. And then since 2022, I've been living by myself again. I haven't had a roommate since college, since my cousin Sierra. So it is interesting to be in a situation where I might be no longer having a roommate. I mean, no longer living alone next year. And so I'm just trying to, see what it's like living with someone again. It's been a very long time. 4 years is a very long time being by yourself. And, you clean out when you want to clean out, you get grocery when you want to get grocery. You're used to things being a certain way. But then when you have someone else coming in, it's just sort of a different type of groove. So just want to see your thoughts about it too. Since have you ever lived by yourself?
Yeah, I was sitting here thinking about that. No,
Okay.
I haven't. Let's see. When I went to college, I had a roommate at the University of Georgia. We roomed together for 2 years, and then your dad and I got married. So I transitioned right into marriage after living with a college roommate for 2 years. She and I lived on campus in the dorm my freshman year, and then we got an apartment. The Parthenon, rest in peace to the Parthenon. It's been torn down. Um, um, we lived in the Parthenon for a year together, and then Randy and I got married my junior year, and I transferred to Georgia Southern. So we lived in Metter and traveled back and forth to Georgia Southern. And then, yeah, then we bought a house in Statesboro once we were working in Metter. That was crazy. And lived in Statesboro ever since. So, no, I've not lived alone. So I don't have a lived alone perspective at all.
Yeah. And I was thinking then, like, have you ever so college your first time having your own room too?
Well, I didn't the first time. Actually, the first year we lived in the dorm, and so we had the twin beds on each wall. But then when we got the apartment, I had 1 year of having my own room by
Oh,
myself. Yeah.
wow. Okay, that's so shocking. Like, I don't know. So
Especially
do
with my personality, because I can
yeah.
retreat pretty easily. Yeah. I'm a retreatist. So, yeah.
Or do you like regret not ever living alone or having that like solo time to
Well,
yourself?
I think it has shaped my personality though to like escapism. We talked about in the social battery episode how, you know, I'll get on my phone and play a game
Hmm.
and escape into the she cave. And so I think not having space of my own for a long time probably caused me to create spaces and want to unwind. And my husband and I do a pretty good job of hanging out when we want to cohabitate, and then he going into the man cave movie room area and me coming into the she cave and kind of chilling out. As a matter of fact, I fell asleep when I was waiting on us to record today. So I think I do pretty good with escapism, but I haven't had the opportunity to actually live by myself. So
Do you feel like it caused you to compartmentalize a lot or no?
Do I feel like it caused me to compartmentalize? I thought you was about to say something else.
No, I
Um,
was asking, yeah.
the maybe. It probably has played a role in it. I think I'm pretty good at compartmentalizing. Um, you might what do you think? Do you think I'm pretty good at that?
Yeah, I mean, like, I think looking at now that I'm saying it out loud and thinking about it, I probably feel like part of my personality is like I get really irritated really fast. And now I realize, like, okay, part of that is because I'm used to being like in solitude and being on my own. So I don't compartmentalize as well as I should because it's just like, okay, we gotta deal with this right now because it's getting on my nerves. Like the problem either gotta go away or it's gonna still be a problem and we're not gonna stop until it's over. I'm definitely one of those people that don't do it as well as they should. And I like want everything to be how it should be right then and there, and then I get irritated if it's not. So, and it does make you a little bit spoiled too. Like you're not used to dealing with issues as much. You just like, okay, I don't want to talk to you anymore, and I don't have to talk to you because I'm in my own space. I don't have to share. I can do whatever I want to. It makes me less understanding of other people too, because it's just like, well, this is what I want to do. I don't have to do what you want to do. I don't have to care about what you care about. I could just go to my own space and do whatever.
I
So,
will say growing up, you were like that too, though. Um, Even though we were a family of 4, you had your own room the whole time,
hmm
growing up, and you would check out a lot of books, like real thick books, and I can just remember, like, you throwing Daniel out of your room several times so you could read your book, and you would just close up and just read, and I can remember one time, he was trying to get in there to play, and you put him out, and, he came and told on you. He was like, Brandy has her door closed and she don't pay mortgage because I can remember that's what I used to tell y'all, you don't pay a mortgage here, you gotta leave your doors open. And he came he came and dry snitched and was like, Brandy don't pay mortgage and she has her door closed. It was like, oh my gosh. But you were just reading your book. So I think even then, living in a household with a family of 4, you kind of found a way to escape then. But I get that too because like I said, I find ways to escape as well and make my own solitude even though there's others in the house. When I was growing up, we had a family of 6 and my oldest sister and I always shared a room and the 2 younger siblings always shared a room. And so I was just never used to my own space, but
hmm
I could find ways to make my own space. Like my mom to this day talks about how I used to do my math homework on the front porch, and she never knew how I could concentrate with the cars riding by the whole time
right,
and people blowing the horn or stopping to talk. And she said somehow I just always was able to get my math homework done. But
yeah,
even being in the midst of that type of chaos, like I found a way to not be in the midst of that kind of chaos. So I think living with others do cause you to create coping skills and working
right.
through other people's issues or your own issues with other people embedded in them. Um, and then it also helps you find a way to find things that you enjoy and kind of escape to those things.
Yeah, I think it helps you probably with conflict resolution a lot too. And you're more used to like, okay, I have to share this space with this person, so I gotta make it work. Whereas like someone who is just in alone is more so like, I don't have to do this. I don't have to do this. I don't have to deal with this. I was like that really a lot in my 20s and just in relationships. It's like, okay, well, I got my own space. I don't have to stay with you. It was one point in time where like I said, there was a person that I was in a serious relationship with, and I was dating, and we decided to live together. And I will say this: I will say that moving forward in my life, if we are not engaged, if we are not married, I am not living with you. And because of that situation, I am grateful for it because I realized, like, okay, this is how it is living with a romantic partner. I do have some grievances about it, especially if you get a partner that is more so not as helpful. I felt like, oh, I gotta do all the cooking. Oh, I gotta do all the cleaning. This person is not helping us much. So that made me really upset a lot too. It just gave me a different perspective as well as what it's gonna be like being married. And it was always almost to the point where I was like, okay, I don't even really think I want to be married anymore. I did go through that after living with this person because it's like if I'm just gonna be footing and paying bills and then also having to do all the cooking and cleaning, it just feels like slavery, honestly. I know it's not, and this is not clickbait. I know it's nothing to equate to the slavery that happened, but it does feel like that because you're giving a lot and then you're coming and trying to help this person, trying to make sure the house is okay, trying to make sure y'all fed, and then it's like you become another parent. Maybe that's what it is. I felt like I was a mom, and I'm like, I'm nobody's mama. You gotta start pulling your weight. So then it gets to the situation where we break up. We still got a lease, so we were literally from lovers to just roommates at that time because we did break up, and I was never getting back with that person too. So that was awkward as well. And that's when I said to myself, okay, no, no more living with the temporary situation. If we're engaged, it makes more sense. If we're married, it makes a lot of sense. But just a regular relationship, we cannot move it together.
Do you feel like living alone, though, has caused a lot of situations where you felt like, um, I guess the solitude, kinda like what we talked about with social battery,
Uh,
feeling like you have to force yourself into social situations so that you don't go days on end without talking to someone?
yeah, and it's mostly just from therapy too, like talking to my therapist, and most of them have told me like you need to go out and interact with other people. It's just healthy to interact with other humans. And like I said, it's not something that is just on the top of my to-do list. But also, just even with the career I'm in, I have to be able to listen to people and talk to people and interact. Even sometimes I know at work they're like, "Oh, this girl is so awkward." It's like I don't feel like talking right now. I really don't. I don't know the nice way to say that, like, but a lot of times people will just have try to have general conversation, and I just need some time to like just focus on my work and not have conversations. And it's not to be rude, and it's not to be you know, inconsiderate. It's just I have to have time where I'm by myself. Even in that last relationship. Now, my current relationship, we're kind of a little bit of distance. So that helps. I do get the time to myself and then I get the time to like, be with the person. But with that relationship with us living together and we also were at the same place, there was times where I would just like go to the beach. Like what's really funny is I would drive off to Jekyll Island and now I live about 20 minutes away. But at the time I would drive off to Jekyll Island just to have some time to myself or do like a weekend by myself just because it just seemed like the walls were closing in this space, and we were in a two-bedroom too, it's just the 2 of us, but it just seems like it wasn't enough space for both of us sometimes.
Well,
Wow. Yeah.
so now that you're in a relationship, do you find that living alone doesn't feel like the same level of solitude as before?
Now that I'm in a relationship, I feel like living alone does give me the same solitude, but I notice, like, when he comes to visit and I see him, like, maybe when I came back from work, I was a lot happier. It was like it was a feeling like you can't really get from anything else but having the person you love being there.
Well,
It's like,
yeah,
"Oh,
it's good to talk
okay."
about your day.
Yeah, yeah. So it was really nice. And it's a lot different because this person nowadays now is clean.
Cleaner than you?
He cleans, yeah, well, we're about on the same level. He has his things and his quirks that he is really clean about, but then he has this thing where he like cluttered. So we both have things that we probably get on each other's nerves about. Like I'm one of those people like I don't like anything on the floor for real, and I don't like a lot of like clutter everywhere. So, and also my bathroom just has to be really clean. So if there's a lot of things on the bathroom, I'm just gonna start like at least putting it under the, you know, putting it under the whatever cupboard and stuff like that. And then with him, he's really big about the dishes. So that's good. And he also cooks too. That's a difference too. Like being with somebody who actually will do some of those things makes it a lot better and it makes you have something to look forward to, I would say.
Sound
Versus
like you could split chores in the future then once you're
right,
married.
right. Instead of having a lot of regret about doing this situation. And this is not like a bash my session, but it was a lot. Like, and at that time, I was working a labor job because it was COVID. I needed something to make money. I couldn't find anything that pertained to my degree, so I had to go work hard physically, physical labor, and coming back and just trying to cook and trying to clean. It just made me look at marriage a whole different way. But now
And
I'm
then
back more so interested in it and open to living with somebody again.
yeah, and then doing all of that and really not even being married probably causes some type of resentment anyway.
Yeah.
So
It
that's probably why it's best to get married or definitely be on the path for marriage
right.
before you cohabitate.
Right. Yeah, I would say for my recommendation for any young girls watching it, I think everybody does need a time where they live alone and live by themselves because I felt like I learned a lot about who Brandy Cooper is without anybody else around. You have to sit with your own thoughts and you have to really learn to like yourself and like your own company when you're alone. Like, you can really mask a lot of things if you always have somebody there. And I'm not saying that's for everybody, but that is something that happens a lot. Like, people lose themselves and they don't really know who they are because they're used to having somebody always around. And you tend to see those people who constantly get in and out of relationships. And that's because they can't be alone with their own thoughts and with their own selves. But me personally, I just feel like it is important to have that time to yourself because I learned a lot about who I am when I'm sad, who I am when I'm happy, and who I am like when I want to get to the next level. Like I had to be my own cheerleader, I have to be my own maid, my own cook, my own, therapist at times too. And so I felt like I got to the root of who I am and who I wanted to be and how to become that person when I love by myself. I felt like a part of me definitely lost myself during that relationship where I was living with someone and just feeling like I had to be everything for that person. But once I got back in my own space, I did go through a lot because this was a relationship where I thought like, okay, I could be with this person. This is very serious, most serious relationship that I've ever been in, longest relationship that I've ever been in. So I was just really trying to make it work. But it's just at the end of the day, we just weren't compatible and we should have kept it moving from the jump. So it took a lot out of me to go into having somebody and then going to be by myself. So I did suffer through some depression and then moving also from being in a physical labor to basically I'm now in office and I'm in HR, so I don't have to move as much, but that costs some weight gain and just, oh, let me get some ice cream and cheer myself up tonight. Too many nights doing that, too many going out trying to eat fancy dinners and cocktails. And now I feel like I'm in a better space. I am alone. I live alone. I have a good time, but I also know like I have to put myself out there in a healthy way, not just going to dinners, but going outside, taking walks. Even now, like before this podcast, I went to go walk and get grocery. And that was a nice little, mile and a half. And I felt good. Like I feel happy and I hope in the future with my future partner. We can live in a city or live in a place that's a walkable city, so we can always walk in, go get grocery, and get that sunlight, and just have time to ourselves, but also cohabitate. So,
Do you read as much as you used to? Because the amount of time you used to spend reading, I think, helped with getting that time to yourself as well.
not definitely not as much as I used to, but I do read more than what I was also because I was starting to get in the book club and we was reading different books and they were pretty good. We were actually reading the Kennedy Ryan series about Skyland, and I got to read the last one about Hendrix. And I also started back reading like the newest Hunger well, it wasn't now it's not the newest, but at the time it was. I was reading the, Ballads of Songbirds and Snakes, and I just got different books that I like, and, just started back reading too. And actually, part of it, I started back writing, but I've stopped again, so I just need to get back into that.
You definitely need to get back to writing and
Yeah.
get your, mystery done. I think you're
Yeah,
not gonna get it done until you just buckle down and do it. And I think, reading, writing, gameplay, I mean, whatever people's escape of choice is, I think that helps.
mhm,
Whether you living in solitude or whether you cohabitate, I feel like having a hobby, as such can always help. Then, of course, getting out the house, like you said before, but what you choose to do when you get out the house, healthy things, and it's not gonna add weight or, um, anxiety or any of those things, but a nice walk, um, that kinda equivalent to me sitting on the porch doing math homework, but just finding, a way to get out of the house, get fresh air, but I think whether you live alone or whether you live with someone, I think everybody have to find time and space for themselves. Then the thing you do in that time and space has to be something that's healthy for your life. Um, you don't wanna have and too much of anything is not good, right? I mean, if you're reading absolutely all the time, then your eyes are gonna start doing funny things if you're always on gameplay. So you have to pull up from even those things and just have a variety of things that you can do to keep your mind occupied and your time not wasted, I guess you would say. You don't wanna look back over the day and say, "What in the world did I do?" So just
right,
finding, things that make you happy, that make you fulfilled, sometimes even helping others, and I know you do a lot of, giving back, you participate in several opportunities to do that, several walks. I think those things help when you
mm,
live alone to because you're around others who have a common cause, and you all are working toward that good cause together, so I think that type of activism is really good. Um and you can do it when you live with someone else too, and they don't have to participate. You can do it by yourself. You can go and
right.
participate even if the other person don't want to. But, I think all of those things, just choosing healthy ways to spend your time, whether you're alone or whether you live with someone else, I think that's the key.
Right. I agree. And I think even when you do have a partner, you guys should have hobbies that you do together, but you should also have your own hobbies. Because again, you can start losing yourself in that person, and then you're doing everything they want to do. And some people like that, they just jointly become intertwined, but then a lot of times you start feeling suffocated too, and the other person might not be honest about it or might not tell you like, "Hey, I do enjoy your time, but I also need time to myself." So I would just recommend that too, especially for like younger
Right.
women and men. Don't just get too engulfed in somebody else's life. Like have your own things and have your own hobbies. It's okay also to be supportive and show up, but you don't necessarily have to be involved, if that makes sense.
Well, that's just like your dad. He spends hunting season
Mhm.
in the woods hunting deer, and I don't wanna go. I did go one time, and oh gosh, he had me up at like crack of dawn, and I put on all this gear to stay warm, and I was warm. I was pretty warm. Then we get out in the woods, and he hands me a pair of binoculars, and I'm like, "What am I gonna do with this?" And he said, "If I see a deer, let him know, like text him or whatever." And I'm like, "What am? No, I want to kill a deer too. Isn't that the point of being out here is to kill a deer?" And I said, "If I see a deer, I'm gonna throw the binoculars at him and hit him in the head. Like, give me a gun."
Oh, you
So,
said
I,
lookout?
huh?
I said he just had you as the lookout?
Pretty much. So I didn't go back. that was my first and last hunt. I have been in the woods again with him, like, to set out corn and ride trails and all that kinda stuff, but I don't go very often because that's really not my jam. So,
Right.
I told him, it's gonna be a couple of weekends out the month that my friend Octavia and I might go do things like we love a good farmer's market. We like to go to those little neat, quaint brunch places where you can, like, make a candle or like, there's always something fun to do inside of the brunch place, and they
They have that in Statesboro?
oh, yeah, all the fixings. We made a candle and all the
Okay.
fixings, and that was pretty neat. Neat
Where's
little
that place
process.
at?
It's off of 301,
Um,
down from the college. So if you're coming out of Sweetheart Circle, you would make a left, and then it would be on the right, not too far from Sweetheart Circle.
where it used to be where the Quiznos used to be?
It's called, Jersey Mike's. It's over there by Jersey Mike's.
Okay. Okay.
Mhm. It's in
Well,
that shopping center. There was a Talbot's there too, but it didn't last long, but there is another clothes store there now, and then there's a store in the corner that's like energy drinks and teas and stuff, and then there's a yoga place, I wanna say. We said we were gonna go back and just kinda explore, but we done found other new spots here. We went to one, downtown. We didn't like it so much because they didn't have food. I mean, they did, but it wasn't like
mm,
uh, it's like muffins and stuff, like, we want grits and eggs, but anyway,
where's that place?
I have to send you the name of it, something in Bruise, I can't remember the first name. Um
Magnolia Cafe is the one I really like.
oh, yeah, you and I have to I forgot about that, I need to tell her that we need to put that on our list.
Yeah, shout out to them. They have a good little brunch and lunch and different things, but I need
If
to
it's
try
good,
all the
we'll find
fixins.
it. We
I
love
like
to eat.
places where you can make different candles, and I like
Mhm.
the perfume things too, where you can make your own perfume.
Yeah, it's a pretty neat experience. We probably can go back there, I forgot about them.
Yeah. Alright, well, do you have a judging you?
Do I have a judging you today? Mm. Oh, somebody asked me if I watched Nemesis. I've not seen it yet. That's something I do plan to dig into, um, because they know I like Power, and it's
Mhm.
kinda, I guess I think Courtney Kemp has something to do with the writing maybe, and they know
Yeah.
I like Courtney Kemp writing, but
Yeah,
I haven't
she's
had a chance to
a
see it
writer.
yet. So that will be one of my listening tos once I have a chance to watch it, but for judging you, no, I have not seen Nemesis yet, and I'm so glad they didn't give away the plot because I do wanna check it all out, but I do
I
plan
have
to.
I have started watching it, and it was gonna be my listening to for the next episode. This
Oh,
is
okay.
yeah, but it's pretty good.
Okay, well, that'll be one of my listens tos eventually. Hopefully, um, by the end of summer, I mean, is it a series that you kinda fly through, or is it
Well,
something
I
that
was watching it slowly because 'cause I've been doing other things, like, I was been trying to clean up and, like, get on my walking pad and stuff like that, so but it's, like, hour-long episodes, and honestly, time just seems like it's going by so much faster nowadays, so I watch at least 1 episode, but I can't binge watch like I used to. I don't know what's going on, but my attention span is not there anymore.
okay, so, no. Do you have a judging you?
No, I don't have a judging you.
Okay. What are you listening to?
So this song is hitting the internet, and we actually went out to Wild Wolf for my cousin's birthday recently, and they played it in there, and I was like, "Oh, I like this," and then I realized it is Young Miami's song. It's been that, and I was like, "Oh, okay." Everybody chose her so much about her music, but I actually like that song. I'll give that to her. So shout
I
out
think
to
I heard
Miami.
that for the first time. Well, maybe it wasn't the first time, but I did hear it last night.
Yeah, I heard it last weekend, and when it played, I was like, "Okay, what is this?" We were bopping, and then when I realized what it was, I was like, "Oh, this is Young Miami. She got a little bit of a hit." So okay. What about you?
Okay.
What are you listening to?
Music-wise, I've been, playing some of Sade's old albums
Okay.
on the way to work, By Your Side, Stronger Than Pride,
Mhm.
um, so I've been listening to a little bit of Sade, just kinda smooth operator, just reminiscent, I guess. I get in those moods where I go back
Yeah.
years and reminisce a little bit. I used to have a few of her CDs, but, of course, I don't have anything to play a CD in now. I guess it'll play in the computer. Well, no, it won't even play in the computer that I have now. It's all plugs. But, yeah, so, just listening to Sade, some of her old music on my phone, playing it through Bluetooth in the car, um realizing, that I'm a huge fan, and I hope one day she has a concert near here or somewhere in the US that we can get to so that I can surprise my husband because he's a super Sade fan, so
Yeah, she hasn't had a concert in a long time, but
I
yeah.
know.
She's on my summer playlist, so when I play my summer jams, I listen to her too.
Yeah.
Alright.
I think "By Your Side" is, like, one of my favorites.
Mhm. It's a good song. She got a lot of good ones.
Yeah.
It's usually the beat for me. I like "Sweet as Taboo" a lot. That one's a good
Yeah.
listen to while you're on the water. But, yeah, well, thank you guys for tuning in, and we will see you next time.
See you next time on We Listen and We Judge.